Hello everyone, Banyuki here again with another video. This time I'm talking about the Panasonic TC-P50VT20. Basically, it's a 50-inch plasma which Panasonic made around 2010. The first year of them actually being able to use the patents that they purchased from Pioneer regarding the plasma technology. And as you can see, this looks really excellent. This is a 50-inch screen. It was a Best Buy model, but it is equivalent to the 25 VT25. It has excellent 3D, pretty decent black level. Motion resolution is great. As you'll see, the images look pretty stellar on this thing. And I know what a lot of people probably think. I was like, well, Bon, why did you get a plasma TV? And I was like, well, I didn't buy this TV. It was actually a gift. My buddy, he came over one day and he saw my 77-inch OLED, the C9 that I made a video on it earlier, and he was blown away by it. He thought it was pretty incredible. So he looked at that and he was like, hey, I'm gonna buy my own. He went out to Costco, picked himself up a 55-inch one. Beautiful C9 television, looked great. Brought it home, set it up and everything. So I guess his parents came by and they're big Disney fans, Star Wars fans, and they watched that Disney Plus on the C9, the show called The Mandalorian. And whatever was in that show convinced them to, the following day, to run out and buy their own 65-inch LG C9. So my buddy tells me, he's like, hey man, you helped us out with the OLEDs and everything. How would you like a plasma? You know, this is my parents' old television. How would you like it? And I told him, yeah, sure, I'll take it, but I don't feel right just getting a free screen. So even though I have a whole bunch of them, we basically made a barter of, I have a 4K player that I really don't use anymore, a 4K Blu-ray player. So I said, hey, you know what? We'll just trade. So that's what we did. So he took the 4K Blu-ray player, and I now have this Panasonic Plasma. They also gave me 6 pairs. Yes, 6 pairs of 3D glasses. As you can see here, it looks okay. I mean, I'm used to having 3D in the household anyway. Both of my projectors, my gaming projector and my projector for movies, do 3D very well. So I already had 3D glasses. I already had 3D media, but 3D on this Plasma looks quite nice. So Plasma, I always consider it kind of like a mid-ground technology or an evolution of what CRT, like they were trying to bring like the CRT type image to flat panel. So I did like Plasma, I just never really had one. I did rate this television and I was pretty impressed that from 2010 technology, I was only getting 29 millisecond and it's a Plasma. So a lot of people know what Plasmas, the way to display everything is a little different. On an LCD or a CRT, you'll have a scanning where the top of the screen will be faster than going to the bottom of the screen. Well, on Plasma, you don't have that. It's just, hey, it's 29 millisecond at the top, 29 millisecond in the middle, 29 millisecond at the bottom. So, I mean, for those games that don't require such tight timings, it's pretty good. I know I'm showing Night Warriors right now. It's one of my favorite games. I just really like this intro. I think it looks really good on the screen with all the black. I mean, that's one thing you'll see in a Plasma. It gives you a near CRT black level. Contrast is good. The colors are fine. And what's wonderful about it is the motion resolution is fine. So I'm just letting you guys know this is a decent screen. Like I said, this is one of Panasonic's finest screens, especially for back then. There are some caveats to Plasma, though. There are some downsides to it. Number one, it's heavy. It's not as heavy as a CRT, but it's definitely a lot more than, say, an OLED. Just to give you an example, my 77-inch OLED downstairs is only 75 pounds. Yet this 50-inch is like 60 pounds alone. So this will give you an idea that there is glass in here, that, there's the actual Plasma in there. I don't know how much it weighs, but the board is kind of thick in the back. I mean, it's 2010 tech. I'm sure if they were still making them today, they'd probably make them a lot lighter, a lot better, more efficient. Another thing is it draws power. It's like a CRT. It draws a lot of current, a lot of power to give you the image that it needs. Another thing, if you look really, really up close, you'll see like little tiny dots flickering around. That's just what Plasma does. Once you're at a farther away distance, it looks pretty clean, so you don't have to worry about it. But it is something you're going to have to get used to. when you're looking at the images. I'm trying to think what's another bad... Oh, there's burn-in, of course. We're talking about burn-in. CRTs can get burn-in. OLEDs definitely can get burn-in. Plasmas can get burn-in. So you want to baby your screen just kind of how you would on an OLED. So it has good things and bad things to it. There's one thing I noticed that people always talk to me about using these things as a desktop monitor. It's like, well, I wouldn't use it. It makes too much noise. And I was like, well, how does it make too much noise? Sure enough, I started surfing the web and I heard a buzzing sound. When you have a predominantly white screen, you will hear an annoying buzzing sound, at least from this screen and probably other plasmas as well. Because I've heard it was a rampant thing, I guess. But for a gaming screen, for a movie screen, it looks pretty good. I mean, it holds its own. Against my OLED, the OLED kills it. I mean, it's pretty good. Against my Sony XBR CRTs, I think the Sony image is better. The 3.4 XBR 960s are better image than this. But hey, look, some people might not have the room for them. This is a flat panel. I mean, I have a wall mounted. You can see here, I have a wall mounted. So that alone might be just worth it just to have a wall mounted screen. And you don't have to worry about having a mammoth giant TV in your household if you don't have the room. What I have connected to it right now, it is a small laptop that the same buddy who gave me the Plasma, he gave me this laptop. It's a Lenovo X1 Yoga with an OLED display, and unfortunately the OLED went out on it. That was one of the reasons why he gave it to me. He was like, hey, you know, the screen doesn't work anymore, but you can still use it. Now, I'm using it. It's got a Skylake CPU with Intel 520 HD. And running Vulkan, I mean, it looks fine. It looks great. I tried playing with it, even though it almost has 2 frames of lag. It's very playable. But the bottom line is, hey, you don't want to spend the money on an OLED and you don't have the room for a CRT. This might be the best way to go, picking up a used plasma somewhere. Just understand it's going to be heavy. It's going to generate heat. I mean, my personal opinion versus LCD, I like this image better. But truth be told, there are some LCDs out there that can get pretty bright. They don't get the black level as well as this, not even close. But they do have better input delay. So that's something you're going to have to weigh. I mean, I've seen these things going around for $150, $200, these plasmas. There was one guy who sold I saw a Pioneer Kuro going for like $400. So, you know, you got to understand, these screens were mega dollars back in the day. This was a $2,000 screen back in the day in 2010. So I think the technology still holds up. It looks nice. I mean, the colors are vivid. The motion resolution is great. If you don't want to spend the OLED kind of cash, I mean, you can find one of these cheap. It might be a good stopgap. I mean, it's kind of an in-between between CRT and an OLED. I mean, it's kind of like, okay, it wants to be an OLED, but it's not quite there. And it's a little more convenient than a CRT. But if you have room, you just get a CRT. And you save yourself a lot of money because people are just throwing those away at this point. Unfortunately, some of them are really good. I got a 970 downstairs. We hooked up the PlayStation 4 on it, and we were playing that Death Stranding game. It looked amazing. So CRTs still have a little bit of life left in terms of gaming. This Plasma looks great. I mean, it just has that input delay. But other than that, for like movies and stuff, in this room, this little backup room I have up here, this thing's perfect. So if you have any questions or comments, I'm not too familiar with plasma technology that much, but you know, maybe we could figure something out. But as far as I'm concerned, it looks pretty nice. I mean, it's a great screen. I can't speak for all the plasmas, but I know this Panasonic one is great. Thank you to my friend for just saying, hey, take it off my hands. We don't even want it anymore. OLED blows it away. And it's like, yeah, that's what's going to happen. I mean, aside from burning, I don't know what bad. I mean, guess daytime viewing? I don't even know. Even the viewing angles, they're actually not bad on this screen, but an OLED is like, you don't have to worry about viewing angles. But anyway, enough about OLED. The Plasma's here. The Plasma's okay. If you have one, why don't you comment in? Anyway, take care, folks.